Hi, my name is Carmen Helms. I'm Carmen Merriweather's mother. Back in the day, we didn't have where we could find out what we were having. And because she was so stubborn coming out, they kept trying to turn her around, and she kept coming out face up. So I said, it's gotta be a girl. So I said, she's stubborn like me, so I named her Carmen. I had asked the Lord for 3 sons and a daughter because I was the oldest girl. So I got my 3 sons, and I just knew that was a girl.
So my mom, my rock, absolutely my strong place, my strength, like that's just where I get it from. That's just bottom line. Because I'm an emotional, I always call myself an emotional thug. I'm an emotional one. And it's just like, I feel like out of my siblings that I grew up with, it's 3 boys and then it's me. So it's like, I'm like the emotional one. But my mom is like so strong, right? So but when I want to just fall apart and just be like, oh my God, I can't take it, she's like, pull it together, snap up out of it, and I get so mad at her when she does that to me, but she's my strength and I need that. And it's like, it gets me where I need to be, and I just wouldn't know where I would be without her. I love her immensely. The things that she's pulled herself through, like God has really just been just prevalent in her life, in our life, and she is literally this year 36 years sober from alcohol, and I couldn't be more proud of her. I couldn't have asked for a better mom, right? I don't trade anything that I went through because, that's made me who I am today, my mom, who she is today. And at the end of the day, it was an amazing testimony for my mother. It's an amazing testimony for myself to be able to help others and just to be a positive impact and role model. My mom has just showed me so many core values and morals at such a young age. And I feel like having older parents is a blessing, right? It's a blessing because they just have more wisdom and more knowledge. And as I grew up around, and the people that I grew up around and their parents, they were cool probably. You think like, oh, I got these older parents, they're like square, whatever. But at the end of the day, like they're really cool because they were more wiser. They were able to pour into you more. I feel like then a lot of my friends and things that I grew up with where their moms and fathers were younger, I don't feel like they got that good wisdom that we got, that, only people that grew up with older parents gonna understand, you know what I mean? So I'm just grateful for not only her strength, but just her wisdom and just all the things that she just has poured into me. In the beginning, when she was going through her alcoholism, the first kind of years of my life, we wasn't the closest. It wasn't, where you would think a mother and daughter would be at. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade none of that, because she had her journey, her story, and I have mine, and I'm grateful for all of it, And she's taught me resilience, right? I feel like a lot of things that I think the older I get and that I come across and I face now, like I can remember, I got that from my mother, like just to bounce back from things that don't work out or go your way, or you have to, things that are just bad in life. I'm able to pull myself together, when I'm falling apart and want to be that emotional, I'm like, oh my God, I hear her voice almost sometimes. Like, and it's so crazy. Like I'm talking about, I literally audibly hear her voice, right? It literally my nickname is Toots. If you didn't know, you know. And I would hear her voice just, to snap out of it. So like all of the things, like I wouldn't be just nowhere where I am today if it just wasn't for that strength and being able to be resilient and just push through and overcome and know that it always will be okay tomorrow, right? So yeah, my mom is just beautiful. Everyone used to always like, oh my God, your mom's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. She's so beautiful. And she is. My mother's, she's that one, okay? 10 out of 10, baby. Baby, understand that to this day. But, on the inside, she's just as beautiful. And that's a rare factor. You don't really catch that. You see people that are gorgeous all day long and the inside there is as nasty and ugly as they come, right? But that's one thing that my mom taught me very young. As beautiful as she was, the inside, how beautifully she carried herself, how she treated people, how she never looked down on nobody, never put herself above people, or never bullied, or was never that type of a person, right? She never walked in a room like that. Always humble, always grateful, always kind, right? So as people would admire her so much and say, oh my God, you're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous, so, oh my God, they were just all over her. She never took that and made that a negative thing, right? And for me, watching that as a young child, that grace, that class, she always cared about herself. That's what resonates in me now. And a lot of people say, oh my God, you remind me of your mom so much. And my siblings said to me a lot now, but that's what she poured into me, right? So God has been amazing and has really brought me and my mom's relationship so much more closer over the years. And us, like, every year that goes by, the closer I am. And I am absolutely grateful for her every second of the day. So that is my mom.
At a young age, she would go with her father on his jobs, and she would call herself helping him bid for jobs and stuff. And then she even had a little store at the house where she sold candy and popsicles and potato chips and stuff. So she's always been that child, who always wanted to get into something and make money. And she babysitted all her little nieces and nephews. And so, yeah, she was always been active like that.
So my dad is the reason why I'm in business. I'm able to do business, should I say. I was just able and blessed enough to be able to take the business and the entrepreneur that I wanted to be, which is what he showed me, but the passion for the elderly and the healthcare industry that I always had, I was able to put that together when I started my home care business, right? I was able to take everything he taught me in business, the basics, the things, how to make a profit, you know what I mean? How to work hard, all the things. I was able to be able to mend that and have that home care was perfect, but it all really started from him, right? Just going out on jobs with him, showing me the ropes at a very young age. We used to go to, I was about 10 years old, right? And he would come over and get me every week, right? He came within his truck. And so we went to St. Vincent de Paul, right? This was him teaching me how to make money, just kind of how to, work, right? Because that's just what he did. So he would come pick me up. It'd be a Saturday morning, nice day. We'd go to St. Vincent de Paul with a truck, and I would go in. And if you're from Indianapolis, Indiana area, the St. Vincent de Paul is like a place where people can go, and I think you can get free things there. A lot of them would get like furniture and things like that. That's the senses of, I guess, what was going on. So, if they got like a couch or bed or anything like that, they would need somebody to come and load it, right? So my dad would go up there in the morning and get the truck all ready and everything like that. And I would go in there, my little young self, looking all adorable, all that. And I would go ask if they would need, their truck, their stuff loaded and taken to their home. So we would do like 2 of those, and I would just be just so excited, right? We would go get truck loaded. He would go unload the truck. They probably paying every bit of $50. My daddy would give me a $50 when I was done. And I was just like elated, like so happy to, one, spend time with my dad, right? 2, just being able to work and learn how to work and do things. He made things like that fun. Growing up, most kids like thinking like, oh, you gotta go to the park, you gotta go do this, gotta go do that. My dad made work fun, and like who makes work fun like that at a young age, right? I'm a whole kid, like 10 years old, but it was so much fun because it's just the way that he was able to teach me, right? So that's why, like, I love him so much. Like, I love both my parents so much. My father really he's instilled like the most valuable thing, which is how to survive, right? And he's done it in such a memorable, positive way for me that, there's just no words for it. He's always been an amazing provider, right? And he's just he's always there. He's he's a consistent person. He's always been who he was supposed to be, right? And I'm forever grateful for him. I love him so much. Like, if it wasn't for him, like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't know half of what I know, right? I wouldn't know how to dust myself off and try again, right? I watched my father transition from being a construction worker for 30-something years going into contracting, right? And mind you, my dad was 50 when he had me. So I was about 10 or 12. So he's roughly about 60 years old, changing over what he's done for over 30 years, right? And I watched him literally start over and end up working his way up to where he always want it to be. He lives a beautiful life. He's comfortable, but he's shown me so much resilience and just hard work and how not to give up, right? How to keep fighting the good fight, and that things will always work out no matter what. He's a truth teller too. Like he keeps it very blunt. I don't know if it's because he's old. I don't know what's going on, but my father will keep it right to the point. And sometimes you kind of gotta, but that's my dad, right? Like that's why I love him so much. And he doesn't sugarcoat stuff, and he's a straight shooter. And I trust him. And the wisdom of having older parents, my father definitely has. Not only just street smarts, but just wisdom in a lot of other areas, and all of that I was able to absorb. And I've been able to absorb that for I'm going on 42 years by the grace of God. So J.D. Merriweather is the man. That is, like, he is the big G. I'm sorry, I love him so much. But yeah, my father's amazing, so.
She always wanted to be better. And then she always had this strong compassion for some reason to take care of older people. She never really got to meet her grandmother, but her grandmother knew her for 6 months. And she named her Toots after her. That was her nickname. My mother's name was Tootie. That was her nickname. So she named Carmen Toots. That was her nickname. And she's always just had this desire to help out older people.
Granny is a pivotal part of my story because that's literally my first introduction into an elderly person, and a person that cared for me, nurtured me, didn't have to, already had 3 great-grandchildren she was taking care of, but she never hesitated to welcome me and treat me as if I was another great-grandchild. And I love her so much. She's genuinely pivotal to, and one of the main reasons I am who I am today. That lady was amazing. She was always there. She was caring, she was loving, and she will whoop our tail if we got out of line, honey. She did not mind go picking that switch in the backyard full of switches, which was woods, and getting us together. But we needed that, and I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for experiencing her. Me and my cousin Felicia, we would just sit and listen to her. She would get her coffee every morning, and we would wait to us get our little sips of coffee like we were grown like her. It was just so many things. Back when they used to have that channel changer. Anybody remember that little brown box? That thing. We couldn't wait to take our turn to turn it and watch our church channels. She loved wrestling. It was just so many great memories with her. I started out of my home. I remember having my very first client, which was my mom's really good friend, Miss Pat. She's a Virgo too. And I 100% was so grateful for her because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is real now. I'm really doing it. Even in starting out of my home, I had my little loft, I had my office there, got everything approved with Medicaid and my certification and all that. Got my first client, Miss Pat. And she really rode with me. It was just such an accomplished feeling to just get to the point of not only you got your license and now you can bill, and then now you got your first client. And then your first client is a person that is basically your family, a part of your family. So it's God has been really good. And just the feeling was oh, thank God it's not a person I don't know. So I ain't gotta be I'm doing something wrong and I don't know. It's just all those things you kind of think about. So Miss Pat, I was able to really learn from her. I was able to go in and service her. I started on my own. I took care of her, and she was able to kind of teach me how she wanted to do certain things and how certain things went and things like that, which helped me to understand, okay, when people are coming to people's homes, you want to make sure that you're coming in polite, respectful, all of the mannerable things that you automatically should already have and do. You want to listen to the client. So she really, really helped mold me and give me what I needed to excel with people that I didn't know as I obtained clients that I didn't know, how to approach them, how to listen to make sure that their needs were met and that you were doing things within compliance and things like that. And what I say about she really rode with me, I mean, because when I first started in my first year, you had, which is, I'm not a non-medical home care, right? But you also had what you call PA, which is the medical side for layman's terms, right? So we would have to, as a non-medical company, partner with a PA company per se, to be able to fully service a client. So Miss Pat had her non-medical hours, attendant care hours, and she had her PA hours. So, but the way that Medicaid goes, it's an order of operation, and usually PA is first, and then the waiver hours are worked. And she almost like lost her PA hours, which was her medical hours, waiting on me to like fully get my like I had my license and all my other stuff, was like the Medicaid waiver part to get fully certified, and and then not even that, but also when I got all that, being able to find a company that will be able to service her PA hours. So she really like stuck it out with me. And when I say God is so good, right before like they were gonna cut her stuff off and like, hey, you only can get this. I end up meeting an amazing lady, Monica Watson, I think that's her last name, but a beautiful, amazing lady who at the time worked for a strictly PA company. You didn't even hear about that. First of all, they I think are still, if I'm not, don't quote me on this, but still are the only company that just does PA. So when I say God blessed me with Monica, she is an amazing spirit and soul, because when that came around, she came and introduced herself. She was just so amazed by me, and I'm like, wow, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, it was just an awesome feeling. But she was able to really teach and pour into me about the home care business early on in my first year. So I really was so blessed not only to have an amazing client that was able to help teach me and kind of how to deal with other people that I would get along the way, but a really amazing business mentor in Monica, which helped me grow my company. I started off with Miss Pat, and I think I had maybe one more other client. I met Miss Monica. I went from like 2 clients to 10 in a matter of 30 days. So I would say my first year was like absolutely amazing. After I was able to meet with Monica and have her pour into me, and then my clientele grew, I was able to purchase my get my first office. Mr. Larry Moran, thank you a million times. That guy is one cool, smooth dude, man. And he was able to give me my first office. I was like on cloud 20,000,009. I don't know. I was like, I made it. My family was really proud of me. My 3 big brothers that like has raised me was so proud of me. My cousins that, we come from the dirt. We come from humble beginnings. They were so proud of me. And so like that just really made me feel like, you know what? You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. My boys was proud of me. My little daughter, everybody, so like the people that mean the most were so proud of me. To be able to tell my father that, like, though, was probably, that's why I get like low-key emotional, but like, cause he just has taught me all business. So like to be able for him to be here to see all of this and see, his daughter's able to take that entrepreneurial spirit and run with it, it's just, there's no words. Like, blessed beyond blessing. So my first year, I have to say, God really, really, really did his thing with me. And I'm forever grateful for that.
I'm Deborah Talley, and I am the transportation manager for Patient Ann's Home Care. I've known her since she was 7. Her and my daughter had been very, very good friends since then.
My name is Taria Corbin. I am the Chief Operating Officer for Patient Hands Home Care, and I love it. We met in elementary school on the playground. After that, we've just been cool ever since. Ever since that day, we've been the best of friends.
What I would say about Taria is that she is literally my person. Like, we have been kindred spirits, I say, since she was 6 and I was 7. And we met back on the playground at Daniel Webster, School 46, the best elementary, period. But yeah, we met on the playground, and like, we have been locked in like ever since. Like, I don't know what I'd be without my best friend. Like, she is, like I said, my sister. She's closer than blood. It's like such a genuine, natural relationship. Is that like, we don't never have to try too hard. We don't never have to do too much or anything like that. We just be. And every time that we link up, we're going to have some laughs. If we don't do nothing else, honey, me and my best friend, we're going to laugh. She knows it. I know it. We know it. Like, that's what we do. Because laughter is like good for the soul. And that's just, I feel like something that's gotten us through growing up in like not the best environment, or would say, But yeah, we're gonna make a laugh or make a joke out of anything.
I know that I wanted to be a big support for her. I know she needed someone that she could trust. Me been knowing her for over 30 years.
If I had my way, I would have probably been able to like just have my best friend start off with me instead of the way I started off with my cousin. To just being honest, I really wished I could have just started with her. Everything has its time and its moment. So her being able to come on and work for me has been a super, super blessing. And now a stepping stone into other things that me and her are going to do together. So that's something I have always wanted, and I'm glad that the Lord will let us do that eventually. And that's something that we're currently working towards now. So her working here has just been an absolute blessing, and I'm beyond thankful and grateful for all of her contributions because she's a superstar, like, period. She's the best at what she does. Very, very smart. Like, just on a real level, she's super smart, super intelligent. I mean, you just couldn't get a better person. You couldn't get a better person. So it's just been super amazing. But I'm glad that God allowed it for the time He allowed it and for the next level that we're going on. So it's been amazing.
We've both been through a lot. I know a lot. She's always been a hustler. Like, even when we were younger, she was always the one with some type of business idea, right? So she would have the candy store, the lemonade stands. I knew one day she was gonna be something, because that's just who she is, right? So, and the things that she's been through, I mean, she's always come out on top. Always. She just has that strength. Like I said, the courageousness, it always played out. She was so courageous that she could just anything she is faced with, she can get through it, and I just love this so much about her.
She is just like the most sweetest, the most caring, genuine, real, solid person I know. Like, when I tell you we are almost literally 40 years, almost 40 years, and we're gonna do something big when we get to our 40-year mark, but we are almost literally 40 years locked in of just solid friendship, never switching up, just like the song say. We are locked in. We ain't never switched up. I don't have words. I love her so much, like, so deeply. Like, that is definitely my right hand. We going to the end together, honey. We're gonna be the best friends that when we're 90, we're hitting that beach, doing crazy stuff, still laughing, still crying about the stories of our lives. So, like, yeah, I love her so much. That's my bestie for life. Bestie. I'm gonna recall one of many crazy client experiences, okay? This one's, I laugh now because at the time I definitely was frustrated. This particular one is me. I'm new to starting my senior homes at this point, and this was my very first senior homes client. So I'm super excited, trying to make sure that I got everything in place. And in the midst of doing that in an excitement, along with all your other things that you got going on, one of the things as a business owner that I kind of skipped on, but I had to pay for it down the line. So this is kind of a helpful tidbit to those who are watching. Being this me and my first client, new to the senior homes, I had a process and I had it down, but guess what? I ended up skipping the background process because in the senior homes, we run a full background on the actual client as well. It was done, but I moved him in before it got completed, right? Well, mind you, this person was in like a rush situation. I have a lot of compassion, probably too much is kind of a little bit to my detriment. But at this time, I'm like, oh my God, I got to really get him in. Plus, this is my first client. This in the senior homes is like a big deal. So in that part is when I made the mistake of not waiting like I should. It's always important that you stick to your standards and your steps and your processes. It's very important, and this is why. Because I was so in a rush and kind of not only to help this client get emergency placed in a way, but then excited about the new client, I let him move in without all the processes being done. That's mistake number one. Don't ever do that. Take your time. So because I did that, when the background did come back and he's already moved into my home, guess what? Lo and behold, this innocent 4'11" figure looked super harmless, ended up being a whole pedophile. What do you know, right? Absolutely screwed, just completely a mess. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? So now I have to not only backtrack myself, I had to kind of kick myself in the behind myself because it was like, why did you even rush this process? Had you not rushed that process and stuck to your own process that you put in place so that you didn't run into this issue, this would never be a thing. One thing I am is accountable. If you're going to be in business, especially this home care business, dealing with clients and having that compassion and that care and concern for the client, you have to own your stuff.
She's a great mother. She's got a very, very good business head on her shoulders, and she uses that to her advantage to help other people. This is her passion. Patience Hands is. She's talked about it, I believe, for a long time since she's been in healthcare, and she was in healthcare previous to this, and she saw that there was more that she could do for people other than sit behind a desk and work at it for someone else. That's her passion, is helping people.
For me, I experienced, starting actually in my birthday month, just some losses, some heavy losses of family members and loved ones. Unfortunately, in December of, I think it was 2007, was like a detrimental loss for me. Something that just impacted me way more than I ever thought would impact me. One of my best guy friend passed away untimely, and it hit me pretty hard. So that and losing other family members kind of just put me in a dark place for a couple years. So I would say between 2007 and 2009, I've had some whammies, should I say. And marriage disintegrated, got divorced, not on me. Losing my grandfather, my best friend's daughter, my niece's mom. Those are like such heavy blows for me that I never expected to put me in a dark place that it put me in. But just having the pastor he's passed on, which I just still can't believe that, but Pastor Mike Jones, and just having my children and you know, my parents and stuff like that, that's literally like the only thing I had through that dark moment. And believe it or not, in those dark moments, I was able to actually try to still start this home care, but I just couldn't do it. But I really never thought, like, really the depths of like depression. I never would have thought I would have went through nothing like that. Just really being hopeless, like, and feeling like, you know what, like, oh my God, this is like terrible. But just having God's faith to like pull me out of that, I needed it, man. Like, if my pastor probably wasn't there and I just didn't have God and had the faith and the foundation that I had from early on, and the elders that made me who I am today, I probably literally wouldn't even have made it through that time. That's how hard it was. I realized I had to pick myself up. That's where the positive way came from. Those dark days, those long nights, those crying till you can't cry anymore, all of those things. So that's where I told myself, you know what, self, I've never been a person, I can't stay in a negative place. I've never kind of been able to do that. So I was always looking for, what can it be positive? I don't care how small it was. I mean, I would be like, oh, the sun is out today, and it would make me feel so good. Like, it was just any little thing that I could grasp on that was positive that would help me get through the moment. It wasn't even like a day, it was just a moment. So from there, I started the positive way.
Oh, the love that she has for her clients. I mean, this is a very lucrative business, right? So the money's there, but the compassion she has for her clients, just how much she loves them. I mean, I could see it, you know, it's just, you can see it. Some people do it for the money. She do it because she truly loves to do it. And I just really love that about her.
When she came here to live with me, she brought it and it's been sitting down here all these years.
Okay, well, I'll make sure she get it
Did Erica say we come on different dates? Did you get everything?
All right, then. I appreciate it.
See,
Thank you all.
look at that. Tell the camera how it's beautiful.
That's somebody else?
Yeah, that's the film guy.
Oh, okay.
Look at her. Ain't she jazzy? Look.
Mm-hmm.
That's Miss Campbell right there. That's my
Okay, thank you.
Look at you said that. She is something else. She is something else.
She knows where she wants to go. She knows where she's headed in this journey. And I think that it's a long-lasting journey, and it'll probably never end because she's got so much energy that she'll probably flow over into something else.
With this association, I wanted to start this because of a legacy, but also because a lot of us minorities, we get the short end of the stick. I just wanted to bring you guys here to show you guys a little bit of what I'm doing. Is brand new. It starts here. My goal is to take it national, so that way anybody that's from California to Alabama can be able to get resources from here that they may need. My National Minority Home Care Association, it's fairly new. I'm trying to, as I network and I grow, pour into my association, pour into it so that anyone that is looking for more resources when it comes to anything in the healthcare industry, whether it's home care, home health care, resident living, all of the things that involve within healthcare, I want this association to be a great resource hub for that, especially for minorities, right? It's for anyone that wants to obtain these resources. I want it to be free. I'm steadily working on it to make it better. I want to be able to highlight people's businesses, highlight what they do, so that when other people come to this association, they join it for free, they come to this resource hub, they're able to get a plethora of information from various sectors in the healthcare industry, right? That is really the goal behind that association because, once again, obviously I'm really big on my legacy, really big on leaving a positive mark. Just want to give back the best I can, right? I love my senior citizens, obviously, so I have my not-for-profit, but I also want to give back to entrepreneurs and business owners, especially the minorities who are in the healthcare sectors, to be able to really just, be a positive, resourceful impact for people. That's definitely my wishes with that, and hopes that the next year I'm able to grow it even more and get it to where I love to see I just would like to thank everyone for coming out on this amazing, beautiful night. Obviously, my name is Carmen Merriweather. For those who do not know, I am the founder of Positive Purpose Non-for-Profit and Patient Hands Home Care, and now the 111 Healthcare Staff. My kids make fun of me because how obsessed I am with the elderly people, but it's truly my passion. I feel that they all deserve to be loved and cared special way. I thank God for continuing to use me as a vessel to help me to do all I can in this elderly, in the elderly community, for those who need it the most. And I thank you guys so much. I'm so honored to like do this for my children, my Izzy, my Aishan, my Naya, and my grandparents who mean like so much to me. So I just thank you all for coming out tonight and enjoying this moment with me. Thank you so, so much. Thank you. Thank you for coming to tonight's event. I appreciate it. It was much love in the building. I appreciate all the love and all the greatness. Till next year, peace and love. Positive Purpose Foundation, the gala that we do. My goal is to obviously do an annual gala. Throughout the year, do different community things that we're giving back to the elderly and disabled community. And once a year, I like to gather up some important people and people who really give back in the healthcare sectors and things like that, and just give back in a positive way to a community. So that gala is me bringing my passion, which is helping the elderly, but also highlighting and awarding people, giving them their flowers in real time for the work they do in the community or the work that they do within the healthcare sectors. All while I'm honoring the people that I love the most, which is my grandparents. My grandfather, who was a big, big person on community, always gave back, very loving, very caring, and being able to extend his legacy in that is just such an honor to me. And for my grandma, who was in the healthcare industry and always was just a person that is very compassionate, very loving, willing to give back as well, very much family oriented, I wanted to make sure that I let their legacy live on through me. The gala is really, really an amazing part of that foundation. And foundation is fairly new, and I'm hoping years to come that we're able to grow this gala to just numerous, like unbelievable levels. All right, so where am I? I got a lot going on, a whole lot going on. Arizona was like the perfect middle ground where it has the beautiful weather, but it also doesn't have catastrophic weather events, should I say, like hurricanes and all that type of crazy stuff. So yeah, Arizona, and then it just seemed like the fit where I needed to be. So it's been amazing though, I can tell you that. I am feeling amazing and I'm feeling super blessed. I'm finally home. I moved down here to Arizona a little bit over a year now. It's just been a very peaceful experience that allowed me to kind of grow my relationship with God more, something that I've been wanting to do here even more lately. So it's just been an amazing experience so far, and I love it. When I tell you, those sunsets, almost you can just cry. Like it's that beautiful. Like the camera, the pictures never really gonna do it 1,000% justice as we gonna see it in our face. Like, oh my God, top freaking tier, man. I'm telling you, yeah. Like it's a lot of beautiful stuff here. A lot. Shout out to Kia, honey. You wanna come to Arizona? Check out my girl. She was telling me how where I'm at is an upcoming more area. I'm in the West Valley area. And so like that's another thing, and I see it. You know what I'm saying? I see exactly what she's saying. I'm like, wow, like so Equity already literally came to my house like almost right away because of their like that building right there. That they literally just have within 6 months from nothing to this like desert stuff, that building was built. The same thing as this desert stuff over here, these new home constructions within the 6 months. I'm literally, because I go this way often, so I watch it build quick. Like they're just building out here, like growing. So that's kind of a plus, you know what I mean? Like, okay, cool, I got an area where it's up and coming, growing, so you got real good investment, you know what I mean? And be real, invested there. So one of the things that I would say kept Patient Hands afloat was God. Having faith, keeping God first, really a lot of prayers, because honestly, like I said, it was the unknown. With all of my years of experience, all of the things that, the ups and the downs, the changes, this was by far the biggest. Just really having that faith that God is gonna pull you through or lead you wherever it is that you need to be at, and that the people that you were being able to provide a way for, that they're gonna be also covered and blessed at the same time. So for me, keeping the faith and keeping God first was one of the most pivotal things that Patient Hands could have ever done. The other thing, like I said, is being honest, being transparent, and being upfront. Oh, this is super nice. I thought that's why it was like an apartment almost, but this is here it is. This is, I'm doing this because I feel like the best way I can, like, to really immerse myself in the business that I want to do. I mean, I know my love and stuff is for seniors, but yeah, for sure. Hi, beautiful.
Hi.
So cute. Hello, beautiful ladies. Hi. So, I have a question for you guys. I want to know if you could help me. Two things. I'm new here to this state, moved here from Indiana. And the second thing is I have a non-for-profit and a home care back where I'm from. But I wanted to expand my non-for-profit. And my love for seniors is all based about seniors. So one of the things I wanted to do is just see about any volunteering opportunities, just so that I can help, just to be,
I can give you the name of our recreation director and you can contact her.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just trying, like I said, this network, get to know people, establish relationships and things like that, expand my non-for-profit. But I want to be able to meet people, right? I want to be able to meet people, make connections and stuff like that. So this is the best person I can get to help volunteer. I know everybody can use some free help, and I'm just ready to do it. So I thank you ladies for your time, and I appreciate you guys. I love your facility. How long has this facility been here?
6 years.
6 years? 6 years. Amazing, amazing. And so it's 2 floors? 2 floors. It looks really, really nice. Really, really nice. Awesome, awesome. But I love this. Like I said, and just imagine, like, literally, good night. Imagine like coming a day weather like this. You know what I mean? Like it really matters. I feel like, especially for senior citizens, one, is good for their bones and stuff like that. But then it's just overall for their mental health. It's solid. You know what I mean? Well, some goals that I would like to accomplish within this next year would just be to solidify the team a little more and to expand more on the senior living and like establish that more, especially because, like I said, once we stop taking those clients, I just want to, my goal is to just maintain the home care, let that maintain itself and do what it needs to do for as long as it does, but put the energy and expand into the senior living and really kind of build that up and make that what that needs to be. Put a person in charge as a president over it so I can really kind of pull myself from it, focus on what I'm doing here and planting the roots here where I'm physically at in my new home. And so that's kind of what like immediate within the next year that's the plans for that. And then just, long term, just, leave Patient Hands as an amazing legacy at the end of the day, Patient Hands Home Care, and expand into other investment and partnerships. I got some dope ones en route, so I'm excited about those, so yeah.
You are my wife, keeper of time, my hook and my lifeline. You are my wife, my reason to try. Everything for you, I'll be glad to sacrifice. You are my wife. Oh, baby, you are my wife.
So, my why, my legacy. my everything. So my children, obviously, as anybody that knows me for literally 5 minutes, you know about my children. So I'll start by letting you know who my oldest son is, Izzy Jr., Isron Jr., but we call him Izzy. He don't like Busy Izzy no more because, you know, he grown now. So he's outgrown the Busy Izzy. He's super bright. Everything I could have asked for. Definitely a nerve tapper, honey. I knew, like, my pregnancy with him was literally a piece of cake. Why I was so mean, I have no idea. I think when I was 7 months, he ended up shifting to my sciatic nerve, causing excruciating pain. But at that moment, I knew he was gonna get on my nerve. I knew it. But that was my baby though. Just full of energy, he's full of life. Just like I said, as soon as he came into my life, just literally made me the woman I am today. I wouldn't know how to even be a mom, obviously, if it wasn't for him first. Just an absolute joy. I couldn't ask for better, even especially now where we are. Like, when I tell you, we went through a lot. Me and my children have been through some really tough times, and God has really, really brought us through. I will tell you that right now. Got him to a point where, as a grown man, he chooses on his own. This is like the biggest blessing. I said, if God never did anything else for me, chef's kiss, on his own, following the Lord. Like, it just, yes, obviously I instilled God in him from a very young age. My pastor, Mike Jones, my late pastor, Mike Jones, which we love so much and miss every single day, really, really helped build that foundation for my children. And from there, I'm just glad that that has grown for him to be able to be at a place of a grown man and choosing to follow the Lord the way he does. Is on fire for God the way he is, and actually motivates me to be that even more. So God be the glory to that. Like, I just couldn't ask for more. And then you have my beautiful chocolate job, my baby, my Ajan, my Yan. He probably gonna kill me when I said that. That's my baby. Like, my Ajan is just like a calm, settled soul. He really is. He's quiet. He was quiet when he was little. He was quiet at birth. Like, he's always been like a quiet, calm presence, you know. Not to say, honey, that attitude baby, we used to call him the attitude baby, because let me tell you something. For the most part, my baby, my Ajan, like, he is so bright. When I tell you, baby, my baby's memory is like, it's like a genius. He literally can get some numbers. You can run it to him one time, he's gonna remember it. Just absolutely bright. But him and my other son, they're like polar opposites, whereas Izzy's more outgoing and very blunt, people person. My Ajan is like me. He's an introvert. He's like, I gotta peep you out, kind of, you know, peep the scene out. But he's very cool, very laid back. You know, that's my baby, man. I love them so much. Like, it's just, I can't even explain to you how much I love my babies. Like, when I tell you, listen, top tier, mama bear, the whole thing, I'm all of that. I love them so much. And then through something I'm telling you that was really meant to take me out of here, like, I promise you, this was something that the devil wanted to use for a negative thing. And I'm here to tell you that by the grace of God, it was one of the most best blessings. My baby girl, Sanaya. A lot of people ask me, "That's your stepdaughter, it's your daughter," you know. And I'm really kind of sensitive about the issue and the topic, because I try to, I want to be mindful that, you know, we live in a world of social media and things like that. And I want to be mindful of her and her, you know, her mom and just everybody. Even though this is my story, you understand what I'm saying? And it's for me, I still also want to be respectful and mindful and kind of give her that space to grow when it comes to that. But that's definitely my daughter. It was, you know, a product of my marriage, but, you know, the devil will have ways sometimes, and we're not perfect, and we all fall short of God's grace. And, you know, in my marriage, obviously, like most marriages, you know, we have bumps in the roads, and some more severe than others. And just with all of that, you know, things happen, right? And you come to a point, and I myself came to a point where I had to ask myself, you know, I could have done anything. I could have took it anyway. Nobody would have never blamed me and said, oh, why would you do that or anything like that. I just chose to have to really sit with God. God really had to like sit me down and just bring things like, my nephew to my memory who, went through a similar situation and things like that, and how much we love him to this day. Like, I don't look at him no different from none of my nieces and nephews. So I had to like look at it from that perspective. And then once God kind of opened my heart and showed me that, and showed me how much love I used to have, how much love I have for my nephew, and that situation, it just kind of really put me in a better perspective. And it's like from there, I just chose to put my children first, right? Because you have a lot of pain, the divorce and all the things that come along with that, the heartbreak and all of that. But at the end of the day, I feel like me putting my children first is what gave me some hope. It made me feel better. It made me cope with the situation better. So her coming into my life the way she came into my life, it wasn't the conventional way or anything like that. But when I tell you one of my best blessings, I promise you that my baby girl is so bright, beautiful, and she has so much to bring to the world. So I'm glad that God allowed me to shift my heart and my perspective on the whole situation. And I'm glad that I chose the route that I did. And we are all now just one big happy family. Like, I genuinely have real love for her mom, her grandparents. They have real genuine love for me. And it's just like I have an additional family, right? So, like I said, something that the devil chose to or wanted to be a negative aspect, God chose to let it be a blessing. To anybody that may be going through that similar situation or encountering that or things like that, it can be better. And I would say putting your children first, putting your own personal things aside, and placing the children first will always help you get through that process. And just most definitely keeping God first will definitely help you get through that process. I don't regret anything. I don't regret nothing I went through, anything. I don't regret it, because it definitely has made me to the woman I am today, and I'm grateful for it. And obviously I'm blessed, right? Got 3 beautiful blessings: Isran, Aijan, and Sanaya. So that's my why. This is my nephew.
Oh, the one you talking about? Oh, go ahead.
Come on. Oh my gosh. This will be, I think it's 0.
An inmate at the Heritage Trails Correctional. This call is from a corrections facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Hey, nephew. Oh, hold on. Let me put you on speakerphone real quick. Oh, I do got you on speakerphone. Hold on. You so low. Okay. I'm recording my documentary. So guess what you gonna be in?
What?
My documentary. So I'm recording you right now, and he's doing my little set. I said, you called right at the right time. I said, dang, I was trying to, every time you was calling, I was on a plane trying to get here or whatever. I'm back at Indy. But I was like, oh my gosh, my nephew's calling. So perfect person to tell you a little bit about his auntie Tusi, because, this is my nephew, Harvey Petrie. This is when I was speaking of my daughter. This is the nephew that I was talking about. Like, I love him so much. Him, his sisters, Rashida and Biana. Like, there was literally my first kids when I started out. I had, when I was about 12, when all 3 of them, I used to watch them day in and day out. Like, I'm their favorite auntie, hands down. Let's start there. But Lemon, we call him Lemon. That's his nickname, right? Tell him a little bit about your auntie. What you would, or whatever you want to tell him. What would you like to say about your auntie?
My auntie is the light of my life. Like, I can just go back to the beginning. Like she said, 12 years old, she was our teacher. She made sure I was the exceptional student that I was in school. Macaroni drawings and everything, all of the above in the basement,
Man.
and just been my support, like I lost my mom, and my auntie has stepped up and became like the mother that I needed.
Aww.
The mother that I lacked. So, all this is who I'm living for, who I'm trying to get myself together for. This is who I want to please and who I want to make proud. Other than that, me.
I know that's right, nephew. That's my nephew right there, boy. I'm like so proud of him. He gonna do so much great things. Like super, super proud of you, man. You gonna like. That's why I tell him all the time. I just try to pour into him. Like you think my testimony in this documentary gonna be something? Y'all wait for him. That book, that documentary gonna be. He's got a real testimony for you guys. He got a real one. So, but I'm gonna finish this documentary, nephew. Give me about say what 45 minutes. Can you ring me up and then I'll fill you in on some stuff.
Okay, I got you.
All right, I love you. Talk to you soon.
All right, I love you too.
Bye-bye. I'm glad he called. That was crazy, ain't it? To Toots, AKA Little Carmen, what I would tell you is that little 5-year-old had all of that unknown faith in the Most High, and that same little girl that beautiful godmother prayed with you and prayed to the Most High for your mom. That's the little girl that you're gonna need as an adult. That's the little girl that's gonna get you through everything. The darkest times, the darkest moments, everything. That little girl that had all that faith, all that optimism, like so much optimism. You're gonna need that a few times in this journey, and you're gonna really have to hold on to it because it's gonna look real dark around you, right? And you're gonna have some dark moments, but the moments that make you, like genuinely make you, like they make you. But it's that optimism is what's gonna pull you out of it. The optimism is what's gonna make you stay positive, and it's always gonna be okay. Because remember, you told yourself that then it's gonna be okay. Because at least what? At least it's gonna be okay. So you're gonna have this amazing life, these amazing children that's gonna like be your entire world. And so focus on that. That's what's gonna pull you out of just anything that's bad. When you think of your children, that is your 100% happy place. After the Most High God, it's them. That's the best blessing that you're ever gonna get. And you know it. And you're gonna have to lean on them, and you're gonna have to use them. And you got some amazing parents, right? That like got you through and they're gonna get you through. And you're blessed to have had them for so long. And you got just an amazing support group around you, and you're gonna be able to use that to put you where you need to be, at that place that you always seen yourself when you was 8 and on that little stoop on New Jersey, and you used to get up real early and go sit out and let the sun just bathe on your back, you know? And then you would think about, I know I'm gonna be somewhere real big. I know I'm gonna have nice things and I'm gonna do nice things. You are, I promise you, you are, because you already knew it then, and like, it's happening for you. Everything that you thought about when you was little, everything that you knew you was gonna be, everything you knew you was gonna obtain, all the things, they happening. And God gonna allow you to enjoy them and see them and make the best of them. Sky is the limit for you, I promise you. One of the main reasons, outside of just sharing my experience with you guys, over the last 10 years in my journey, one of the things I also want to do is I want this documentary to inspire somebody, give people hope, give people positivity again, and like, you know, all of the things. I genuinely want this to be something that inspires somebody to just go do something positive and whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be particularly into healthcare, just in life. So, and with that, like this brand that I created, The Positive Way, I created that literally from the most darkest place, the divorce and all the nasty things come with that. But because I'm an optimist, right? Like I told you, like I'm an optimist. And I'm gonna always try to find the light at the end of the tunnel kind of a person, right? And so that's what I wanna make sure I leave you guys with, is just not only just, you know, just letting you know like it's okay to, you know, fail and get back up and try again and all those things, but just have hope. And I want to leave you guys with just, you know, some real inspiration and just some positivity for sure. So I hope that, and I want to do the same with my book as well. So that is the object and the goal. If it helps, you know, like I said, that cliche, one person, it did its job, right? So the fisher of men. All right. That's the rap, mama. You didn't make that down, mama. Woo woo. Say woo woo. Hey. You should look at her.